Your prior authorization was denied again. And if you're honest about it, nobody on your team can clearly explain who was responsible for making sure it was submitted correctly in the first place. Today, I'm showing you exactly why this keeps happening and the systematic framework that eliminates it permanently. Welcome to Intake Accuracy Accelerator. I am Kemal, founder of Intake Accuracy Accelerator, LLC, with over 20 years in home infusion, PBM, and specialty pharmacy operations, specializing in intake coordinator training, denial prevention, and audit defense. Today, I'm breaking down the single most operationally disruptive denial category in home infusion, prior authorization failures, and specifically the role confusion pattern that creates most of them. If you're a director of patient services, VP operations, or director of nursing, watching your team struggle with recurring PA denials, this video will fundamentally change how you think about the problem. I want you to do something right now. Think about this question honestly. Who on your team is responsible for ensuring a complete, accurate prior authorization is submitted for every patient who needs one? If your honest answer is we all kind of share that responsibility, you've just identified your denial problem. After auditing many home infusion intake workflows, I've found this pattern in the majority of organizations I assess regardless of size, volume, or staff experience. When everyone shares PA responsibility, nobody actually owns it. Critical documentation steps get assumed rather than executed. Authorizations expire because tracking was someone else's job. I call this the PA ownership crisis, and it costs organizations between $8,400 and $13,600 in monthly preventable denials on average. Let me show you exactly how this happens through 5 specific failure patterns. Pattern number 1. The clinical will handle it assumption. Intake receives a referral requiring PA and assumes clinical will gather the documentation. Clinical assumes intake already verified what's needed. The PA gets submitted with whatever documentation is available rather than what the payer requires. Nobody dropped the ball intentionally. The system simply had no ownership structure preventing the gap. Pattern number 2. Benefit type PA mismatch. Medical benefit PA goes through the medical director's office. Pharmacy benefit PA goes through the PBM portal. Medicare Advantage follows plan-specific requirements. Submitting through the wrong channel creates automatic denial, not because therapy isn't covered, but because the PA reached the wrong decision maker entirely. Pattern number 3. Authorization expiration before therapy completion. This pattern is particularly devastating. Drug has already been dispensed. Nursing visits have already occurred. Revenue was already counted. Then recoupment arrives months later as a complete surprise because nobody was systematically tracking expiration dates. Pattern number 4. Incomplete clinical criteria documentation. Every payer has specific clinical criteria your documentation must prove. Coordinators submit prior authorizations with most of the required documentation because they don't have complete, current checklists for each therapy and payer combination. Pattern number 5. No systematic tracking infrastructure. Sticky notes, mental reminders, basic spreadsheets with no accountability. Email chains buried under daily volume. When informal systems fail, and they always eventually fail, the result is expired authorizations, missed follow-ups, and claims submitted without valid coverage. Here is a simple diagnostic exercise you can run with your team today. Ask 3 different coordinators separately, not as a group, to walk you through exactly who does what, from referral receipt through PA approval for a new IVIG patient on Medicare Advantage. Ask each person individually, compare their answers. Listen specifically for these 5 elements: clear role assignment for each PA step, specific clinical documentation checklist referenced, benefit type identification before PA initiation, systematic tracking method with accountability, and expiration monitoring protocol. Here is what the answers reveal. If all 3 coordinators give consistent, detailed answers, your PA workflow has systematic structure that protects you. If you see moderate variation, Role clarity gaps are creating periodic failures that will worsen as volume grows. If you see significant variation, you've just identified your primary denial source, and it has nothing to do with payer behavior. The consistency of answers across coordinators reveals more about your PA workflow than months of denial data analysis. If today's video prompted genuine questions about your organization's PA workflow, here are 3 ways I can help you build systematic solutions. The IA Diagnostic Assessment at $497 gives you a complete 88-point intake accuracy assessment identifying your specific PA role confusion patterns, documentation gaps, and tracking failures without patient health information access or operational disruption. The 90-day intake accuracy accelerator program at $2,500 monthly provides systematic elimination of PA failures through weekly simulation-based training. Week 3 focuses entirely on prior authorization workflow optimization, using scenarios built around your specific therapy types and payers. And our VIP Team Intensive at $4,500 for a full-day virtual training for up to 10 coordinators with a dedicated 90-minute PA simulation block. Building consistent role clarity across your entire team in a single intensive day. All program details and booking links are in the description below. PA denials are not a payer problem. They are not a coordinator performance problem. They are a training infrastructure problem, and training infrastructure problems have systematic, buildable solutions. The question isn't whether your team can learn to eliminate PA failures. The question is whether your organization has the systematic framework to make that learning permanent. If you found this video valuable, subscribe for weekly home infusion intake training insights and hit the notification bell. Drop a comment below when you asked your team who owns PA submission. What answer did you get? I read every comment and respond to every question. Until next week, keep protecting your revenue and your patients. Thank you.